Canada, invented in... Whoa. I just got some major deja vu. Whatever. Don't take the title of this video the wrong way. I like Canada. I like it a lot. But it has taken its fair share of L's throughout history, and it is unfortunately broken. That's okay though, I love lots of broken things. The Montreal Canadiens, my Discord server, link in the description, Tekken 7, all things that are flawed, but that's alright, because what do we do when there's something in our lives that we care about, but isn't quite how it should be? We ignore it until it becomes too big of a problem to pretend doesn't exist, and then relent and give a half-assed attempt, and end up just making it worse. So that's what I'm here to do today. I believe this country is capable of great things. In fact, I know it. I've seen it happen. Back in my youth in 1909, Canada got its first ambulance. The wild, uncivilized frontier that was the Great White North at the time was skeptical of this new contraption. And so to prove its worth, the ambulance crew took the vehicle, ran over the closest American, and then promptly transported him to a hospital to repair his near hopelessly broken body. That's the kind of shit we need more of.
What exactly are you pushing for?
That's the kind of shit we need more of! Let's start at the home front. There's a few domestic problems that need addressing before we step onto the world stage. There's a wedge that's been between Canadians for a very long time and has become more and more of an issue ever since the 2019 election. Western alienation. The Western provinces have felt that for a long time, their wants and needs have come second to the more important, the more central provinces of Ontario and Quebec. Up until now, the way Ottawa has responded to this criticism is by saying, yeah, you're right. Stop bitching about it, just be happy you don't come third or fourth like the eastern provinces and the territories. This answer hasn't exactly sat well with the Westerners, and they have started a movement seeking the secession of Western Canada, known as Wexit. Okay. Word of advice, pick a new name. Honestly, no one's going to take you seriously. Wexit sounds like the hashtag Weezer fans are going to use when the band breaks up. If you're not up to date on your Canada lore, you may be wondering, why doesn't Ottawa just say, okay, later bud, and let him fuck off? Well, Alberta has oil, and we need that oil to do things. But if we could take all that oil, then the West would be free to do as they please. Unfortunately, Albertan oil is difficult to process into a usable form because it's not oil, it's oil sand. Conventional methods of oil extraction are ineffective, and whatever Western witch magic they're currently using out there is just taking too damn long. So, I propose a solution. We send hundreds of collection parties out to the Pacific tropics, scouring the beaches for Scopimera globosa, aka sand bubbler crabs. These crabs are able to extract shit out of sand at an incredible rate, leaving behind only little bubbles of sand. If we release millions of these crabs into the oil sands, they will suck up all the oil in mere minutes, leaving behind only balls of sand and the corpses of crabs who've succumbed to an extreme amount of oil poisoning. Now, I'm no petroleum engineer, but I'm pretty sure it's easier to extract oil out of a dead crab's digestive tract than it is to get it out of sand. Just crack the little bastards open like a fortune cookie and boom, you got your petroleum ready to be burned at your leisure. After Ottawa has taken all of Alberta's oil, they'll be free to go, taking along anyone who wants to join them in their economy, which now will be based on, subpar hockey teams, I guess. It's really all you have left. The concept of alienation and isolation brings me to my next suggestion for Canada. Social distancing forever. There's no full-on quarantine or lockdown in place, but everyone sure is acting like there is. I haven't seen any of the buys in like 4 weeks. Every relationship is now a long-distance relationship. Even if you live in the same house, you have to stay at least 6 feet away from each other. Imagine having to e-date someone who is in the same building as you. Sad! Despite these negatives, social distancing has allowed for nature to return to its healthy state. Baby seals are free to roam the open plains and their skulls remain intact. Organized moose combat has returned to the streets of Winnipeg. All the baby nickels out in the wild are able to reunite with the prime mother nickel in Sudbury, without worry of being scooped up and put in the wallet of some random passerby. The distribution of Canadian geese has not changed. They never gave a fuck about nothing. With all the people out of the way, nature can flourish to its full splendor. And also all those protesters are out of the way so we can build the pipeline to transport all the crab oil that we want and ruin that splendor. Let's see, is there anything else to address? Ontario is fine, I guess. Quebec is complaining about everyone else not respecting Quebec enough, but that's a trick. Don't fall for it. No matter how much respect you put on their name, it won't be enough. Just ignore them. Let them tantrum themselves into a slumber. Oh, right, I almost forgot. The territories, an oft-forgotten and ignored part of Canada. It's such a shame that these beautiful landscapes and friendly people are shunned just because there's only 12 of them living in a place the size of Europe. Look at this. This is the capital city of one of the territories. I don't even have a joke written for this. Just look at it. It's sad, really. No one even bothered to give Northwest Territories a proper name. Imagine if British Columbia was called West Province, or if Americans called Maine Northeast State. The territories have a lot to offer, not only Canada, but the whole world. We should remove them from the mainland and staple them to the polar ice caps, drastically increasing the mass of the ice caps, effectively undoing years of melting caused by global warming. Wow, what a perfect segue to go from fixing our domestic problems into correcting our influence on the world. Canada consistently ranks highly in the world's most reputable countries. Other nations tend to have quite a favorable opinion of Canada. And that's all well and good, but you know what's even better than being loved? Being feared. International relations are much like interpersonal relationships. The proper way to build long-lasting, powerful, trusting bonds is through intimidation and violence. I mean, just ask the USA, or any father whose kids don't talk to him anymore. There are no downsides. Canada is in a prime position to wrest control of the world's skies away from everyone else. We just need to utilize two things: the Avro Arrow and Canadian Geese. The Avro Arrow was the greatest piece of aviation technology in history, and the only reason the project was shut down was because America was jealous and asked nicely if we could stop, and John Diefenbaker went, I guess, but fuck that. We're bringing it back, and this time we're going to be even better, because this time it's going to be almost entirely composed of pykrete. For the uninformed, pykrete is a mixture of ice and sawdust with properties similar to concrete, aluminum, steel, and obsidian. And since it's mostly ice, when it climbs to altitudes where ice buildup becomes an issue for other aircraft, the Avro Arrow simply becomes more powerful. If we combine this ultimate all-purpose jet with an armada of domesticated Canadian geese, Canada's air superiority would be unquestioned. Here's how any battle between air forces would go. We send in our squadrons of kamikaze geese to disrupt their fighters. Have you seen the damage a single goose can do to a plane? Shit's crazy. And then you have like 500 Avro arrows made out of pure ice dive bomb out of the fucking thermosphere and rain havoc. How did those Avro arrows get up there, you might be wondering? Because we used the Canadarm to initiate a hostile takeover of the International Space Station and have expanded it to function as a dock for Avro arrows. With this unmatched military might, we can set our sights on the single biggest target to make the whole world fear us: the USA. But we can't just start a fight for no reason. We need goals, and I have 3 that I think every Canadian can agree on. Number 1, unify the city of Sault Ste. Marie. Here's Sault Ste. Marie, Ontario, and right across the river there's Sault Ste. Marie, Michigan. That's stupid, and I'm tired of it. We must claim our rightful clay and then rename the city so it actually reads as Sault Ste. Marie instead of Sault Ste. Marie. Number 2, reclaim sports teams back from America. Bring back the Quebec Nordiques and the Vancouver Grizzlies at least, and take a few others just for good measure, and just dump them all around the Toronto area just to be disrespectful. Mississauga gets a team. Markham? Why not? Pickering? Sure, fuck it. Even Brampton gets a team. Oshawa does not get a team though, for obvious reasons. And finally, burn down the White House. Canadians will often claim that it was them who burned down the White House in 1814, but it was technically the Brits, so we should do it just so there can be no doubt. After all that nasty business is out of the way, we should also go and grab Greenland and drag it into the spot formerly held by the territories, because sharing a border with just one nation is lame. Monogamy is unnatural, after all. And now we get to share a border with Denmark. And Denmark's cool. Alright, this script is kinda long and my work ethic is damn near at its limit. Let's finish this off quickly with a lightning round of a few other problems that need to be solved. Send an investigation unit to determine if Prince Edward Island exists, because I'm starting to have my doubts. People actually claim to be from Nova Scotia. I've never once seen anyone claim PEI. The government should be anarcho-Nazbol, obviously. Unify all post-secondary schools into one massive educational institution built dead center in Hudson's Bay on some fucking kill-a-kill shit. The West Edmonton Mall and the East Edmonton Mall sign an armistice and begin work towards building the unified Edmonton Mall. I believe peace among fellow Canadians is a noble and achievable goal. Affordable housing. That one's kind of a pipe dream, honestly. I just sort of wrote it down, but I really don't think that's possible. And that's all the wisdom I have to share with you. Of course, none of these changes will come to pass without action. So next election cycle, get out there and vote for... not me. You're out of your mind if you think I'm running for public office. That shit sounds like a lot of work. Have you seen my upload schedule? Come on now. You know me better than that. And now a word from some of my patrons. Eitz Kodal. Fix Canada by giving the land back to our indigenous populations. Connor, Canada. We are sorry about the cold, but we will make it up to you in free healthcare and poutine. Empress Mermaid. Make Canada great again? I guess. Maybe. Horny Alien Guy. The last month of my life has been trying to build a village for digital cartoon animals. I may not know how to fix Canada, but my island is fucking fire. Kilogallon, when are you guys going to become America's 51st state? Lord Huge not. In order to fix Canada once and for all, we need to get Norm the Genie from Fairly Odd Parents to destroy Canada and build socialism with the aid of the extraterrestrial. Positivism for the win. This message is brought to you by the Mick P. Pants Foundation. Thank you, base spider god. Wholesome. The Misinformed Discord is like a dumpster fire that broke out in the bad part of town so no one will put it out, and the homeless are using it for warmth.